What's up, everybody? It feels like spring today. It's a beautiful, beautiful Friday. I'm out here doing pond maintenance because why not? What a great way to get some vitamin D on the face. The sun is shining. I got no problem scooping a little bit of leaves out of the pond this time of year, which is exactly what I'm up to today. Just kind of getting some of that debris that made its way in through the winter out of there. And you know what? I'll just flip the camera around and I'll show you exactly what I'm up to. All right, so here you have the ponds. It's a little murky. I've been kind of scooping out some debris already, as you can see. That is the kind of stuff that has just sort of made its way into the pond over the winter time. So kinda you can actually tell if I take it over here. You can see the difference in what I've scooped already. Maybe, anyways, depending on the lighting. So you can see not a ton of debris on the floor there, and then all of a sudden over here, now there it is. You can see all that little bits of algae and some leaf debris in there. I've got an old lily tub in there. I'm not sure. I don't think anything's alive in there, so I'm going to pull that and have a look. And sadly, you can't really see. There's actually a little bit of a little fish underneath that algae there, so I'm gonna have to pull that out and investigate a little bit, put my fish investigator hat on and try to figure out what exactly happened to that guy. I noticed my plants are a little bit trampled over on this side, so I'm wondering if maybe something tried to get it and just took a swipe at it and injured it enough that it died over time. I'm not exactly sure. The fish cave is sort of right in there somewhere, so somebody was getting awfully close. But okay, I've got my nets out of here, so I am scooping out debris and stuff like that from the winter time. Actually, overall, it looks very, very well, I would say. You know, to be expected. You know, the winters are very harsh on our ponds here in Ontario, and so, you know, a little bit of algae in the waterfall and stuff like that and in the pond is to be expected. We get tons of debris, and in particular this year we had tons of snow, so that's all going to factor into the water quality first thing in the spring here. So what I'm doing is just doing my due diligence here. I'm going to take out all the debris so that's not decomposing and rotting in there. That's going to give the ecosystem a great start. You're going to see where's some right in there. I already have some green in my irises, so the plants are coming to life, and those are going to start consuming all those excess nutrients in the pond very soon here. This water is going to be absolutely crystal clear within a few days, I would expect. Maybe I'll scoop some of that algae off my waterfall rocks there, but if I don't, I'm imagining that'll sort of take care of itself early in the spring as well. Sometimes I do that just because that is very aesthetic. It's a main focal point for the ponds. Sometimes the algae does get a little unsightly in there. I have no ion gen on this pond or anything like that. Some days I wish I had one for the waterfall and stuff like that. For the most part though, I got no problem with a tiny bit of algae here and there, and I also have no problem scooping a little bit out from time to time. It's kind of therapeutic for me. For some of you, I know that's also the case, but others I know don't even want to touch that stuff, and that's understandable as well. So if you don't ever want to deal with any algae or anything, you can get yourself a string algae control system. The Ion Gen from Aquascape is really, really good. We have excellent results with that. But otherwise, Au Naturel works as well, as long as you have the patience for it. So here we go, just another little run through. Pond is looking good. Crystal, I wouldn't say crystal clear actually, I was about to. That's what I'm used to saying. But it will be very soon here. There's a good shot. You can see all that debris that just builds up along the bottom. Here we go. A little bit of string algae in my shallow stream, but overall, intake bay is working beautifully. Let's see. You can see that. So a lot of debris is being caught and accumulated here in the intake bay, so I'll be removing all that stuff as well. And this pond is looking great, I would say. Ready for spring. It is that time of year, but we have a casualty, folks. Oh no, what happened, bud? Oh, it's so sad when this happens. Not exactly sure. Seems like a bit of a random occurrence. The rest of them are fine. Oh man, poor guy. Rest easy, little man. Okay, so debris scooping is going very well here, and now I have got to deal with a lot of this dead stock and stuff. So I usually start by just ripping it out, whatever I can with my hands. Whatever comes out, great. You can see a lot of this stuff just pulls out easily with your hands, and then the rest, throw that in my net. I should have a bucket or something. So the rest, whenever it doesn't come up with hands, I'll just get a quick pair of scissors out here and snip all that up. This is what happens when you don't trim back your plants in the fall. You end up having to do it in the spring and kind of working around some of the new growth that's already shooting. So it's best to do it in the fall, but if not, this is what it looks like in the spring. See, a lot of that dead stuff just comes out pretty easily. Just grab that mess right there, just comes right up along with some string algae attached to it, so it's not too bad. So just grab the dead stuff basically and pull it out. It's not too bad. Just want to be careful with some of the new growth, but look how much better that looks already. So much, there's even way more green than I thought was growing into that thing, so that is going to thrive now without all that dead foliage in the way. Now coming over to my intake bay here, you can see a lot of this is just going to have to come out via the old mitts. There we go. Ooh, that's a nice chunk here. Ooh, it's because it's stuck in my creeping jenny a little bit, some of this algae, so I'm going to be careful. I don't want to take all my creeping jenny away, but I will take some because it is going to grow back. It's not shy, creeping jenny, that's for sure. Get all this out. Look at all that stuff. Hook it over there. This right here is a dwarf cattail. This is the only type of cattail, excuse me, this is the only type of cattail that I would recommend you putting in your ponds. It stays compact and a lot more manageable than the typical cattail that you'd see out in the sides of the roads and in natural wetlands and stuff like that. So you can see there's some of the old blooms there from the little hot dog looking blooms that these things get, the famous cattail bloom. So I'm just take my scissors here and cut off a bunch of this dead stalk. Okay, I have done the bulk of the scooping of the debris. I've cleaned out my intake bay. I have cleaned up all my plants and stuff like that. I also took a bunch of debris out of the wetland filter. It's a little bit murky right now. Let's come back in a little while once it clears up and we'll show you what it looks like then. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours now anyways. The water's still a little bit murky, but you can see down to the bottom again now. So there's all the fish. You can see they liked what I was doing earlier. I stirred up all their food and got all their food suspended, so the fish are now out having a feast, so that is good. You can see my plants are all trimmed down. The iris looks much better. Now you can see some growth out of the dwarf cattail as well, and on that side too. I haven't got my spillway bowl up and running yet, just in case. There's probably a little bit of ice in there, so those things can be a little bit fragile, so I don't want to mess too much with that. Other than that, this pond is looking great, ready to come back to life. There's my nice big koi fish again. Oh, now I can see I've missed a little bit of debris down in the bottom there, so still a little bit to scoop out, but overall this looks much better than today. See, I have some nice skimming action here, so I have some really nice swirling in here. That little bit of foam is actually from me from stirring up all the excess nutrients and stuff earlier, so that'll go away in time, and everything is looking good here.